What's up, y'all? I'm Shakesha Divine. Wanted to come through, give a quick little check-in, right? That Dark Magic Oracle started speaking to me. Now, typically, I use this oracle when I'm connecting with the ancestors and whatnot, right? But Spirit placed it on my heart. This deck called out to me, right? That we need to check in, get a message. This one got a message for us, so we go see what that is. But first and foremost, I want to give thanks to that A-team, because you know them ancestors is definitely on that A-team, right? And they come through with a most auspicious message for us, helping us, guiding us, supporting us on our way, right? We talking about those ancestors. We talking about the assistants. We know them as spirit guides. We talking about them ascended masters. We talking about the angels, the archangels. They all surrounding you. They supporting you. They got your back. They holding you down. And so right now, they got a message for you right about now. We go see what that's all about. Checking in real quick. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Okay. So the first one that came through is for us to really make sure that we out here in these streets expressing our creative heart. You see how she got her back turned all up against the wall, and it's like she a little shy, right? Sometimes we get into these spaces because we've been rejected out there in these streets, right? And so a lot of times when folks got ideas that ain't nobody ever heard of, you know what I'm saying? Folks is really ready for you to stick to the teaching and not come up with no creative ideas and everything. But Spirit wants you to know that you got to hang in there and you got to continue in expressing your creative heart anyway, because see, this is the mother of intervention, right? Is having that creativity, right, within your heart. You got to get out here and express it. But the thing that has to happen first and foremost is that you got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You drinking enough water, you getting you some exercise in. I know over here where I'm at, it's pretty cold out here in these streets, right? And so a nature walk is always a blessing, right? Helps to rejuvenate, helps to recharge that energy and everything. But if there's any way that you can get out there, take a quick one, take a short one, right? Getting that fresh air in there, that coolness. But if you in a place where that temperature, right, where the weather is right and exact, right, so that you can get out and absorb that energy from the sun, this is absolutely going to be an auspicious time to do that. Making sure that we're getting foods that ride more on a higher vibration scale as opposed to a lower one, right? Because when the ancestors come through reminding us about purification, this is all about us making sure that we're doing things to honor our temple, right? This is about making sure that we're allowing things that really help in raising our frequency, right? Through the ear gates, through the eye gates, through the mouth gates, right? Through all of those gates within our body. Those things need to be honoring our temple at the end of the day. Because when we do, this is when we shine our light in some most auspicious ways. And this is what's putting us in an area to be able to raise our consciousness out, right? So that we'll be more in tune with our intuition and we can get out there and rightly divide some truths out here in these streets. Because what Spirit wants you to know is about how we got to make sure when we're doing this particular work, right, how important it is that we're taking care of ourselves, right? When we're shining that light out here, we got to make sure that we're preserving our power at the end of the day. And this is really, see, and this is all really connected at the end of the day. See, Spirit was really showing me right now about how we are taking in a lot of things that kind of sap away our vitality and our ability to respond effectively, right? And so what Spirit is really wanting us to know is that we got to really make sure that we're preserving our power so that we're channeling our energy, putting our focus into things that's really going to support us in our ascension process, right? We got so many distractions that's going on out here, right? That's getting us to focus on a lot of things that's really not going to help us to really reach higher levels of consciousness. This is done by design, you understand, right? But when Spirit is coming through reminding us about preserving our power, this is about making sure that we're in this space of wisdom, right? Where we are staying in integrity. Integrity means that the values that you say you about, the business that you about, you are about that business even when ain't nobody watching you, right? And so this infinity card is coming through reminding you about preserving your power for those things that you truly about the business of, because the rest of it can fall by the wayside. And at the end of the day, none of that stuff can get through to you without your consent, right? And so Spirit is coming through. I'm dropping the card, no doubt about it, right? It's about making sure that you understand what your boundaries are out here in these streets, right? Because when this consent card is coming through, when the ancestors, when the A-team is coming through, reminding us about our boundaries, right? This is because we get blurred lines out here in these streets, right? We allowing folks a little bit more leeway when we don't. And we don't want to be sitting up here wasting our energy, right? Focusing on energy for folks for energies, you know what I'm saying? For whatever it is that's not really worth our time at the end of the day. And so with this, you know what I'm saying? We find ourselves in these spaces where it's sapping all of our energy. We feeling some type of way, right? And we withdrawing and everything, and it's taking away our vitality, right? But when you know your boundaries and everything, they can't do this unless you consent to it. And so this is why the ancestors is coming through, reminding you about your capacity, your ability to take the commander's seat and make these changes in that particular situation, right? But it has to be you to make that change at the end of the day. That doesn't mean that we're not really being receptive to what's going on that's around us and everything, right? But what that does mean is that we're taking it all in. We're expressing our truth to power, and we're changing that situation, right? So that way, if we find ourselves in a position that's out of bounds, we are in a space where we're empowered enough to be able to speak our truth. But that happens when you preserve your power, right? Now you ain't giving all your power to something else when it really counts. You ain't in a position to be able to stop it through and really be able to show up for yourself in an effective way. So spirit is definitely coming through, making sure that you're coming through for yourself. This is an encouragement. This is your confirmation, right? For you to show up for yourself, for you to express your creative heart, for you to begin showing up for yourself in most auspicious ways. When you begin honoring your temple, when you begin taking care of yourself, this is when you start really becoming more empowered. You start to really begin expressing your truth, right? You start saving your energy for things that really matter because you know your boundaries. So I hope that helped you out. Peace, light, and love.